How you doing out there? This is Captain Jack. We are an hour into the Academy Awards, and yes, just in case you don't know what's going on, or if you care, and for the most part, we don't care. Now, I tell you this: I am a movie lover. I always watch the Academy Awards, and but unfortunately, for the last 10, 15 years or so, it's become what's the word I'm looking for, a monumental political soundboard. And I just don't dig that. You know, I mean, you want to go to the movies to escape. You want to go to the movies to feel positive. You want to go to the movies to learn. You want to go to the movies to, to see all those different things that you've never seen before. But that's my soundboard. So thank you, the one viewer that I have. I don't know who it is. Thank you for whoever has come on board to see me. We're talking sports because you don't know jack about sports until we talk about some sports with Captain Jack. Anyway, as following through with with what we're doing here, we're going to go through the bluff. That is the bottom line up front for this past week. I don't think that there's been a bigger event that's come on board. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming aboard. Good to see you, brother. As far as I'm saying, as far as the bluff, there hasn't been a bigger event this week in my mind than the blown out shoe of Zion Williamson. I mean, it was replayed again and again and again. And the fact is that this kid, who is going to be making millions of dollars this next year, he after March Madness, which hopefully he'll be in, because again, there are people that are saying that, would you play again? Sure. You're going to play again. You're going to cement yourself as, the person that everybody thinks you are. This kid has got more upside and more pub than I think LeBron. If he was able to come out and go right to the NBA, he would have. But he didn't. He's playing the 1 year at Duke. He's solidified himself as the number one pick. But I tell you what, blowing that shoe, although it came within millimeters of causing a major sprain, either ACL, MCL, whichever one it was, it didn't. So thank God. But you will hear from Zion Williamson. I'm predicting that he will be coming back, especially for the rematch against UNC, which he missed during that injury. And that Duke will need him in order to go far in the tourney. He's going to be making millions of dollars. And I tell you what, he'll probably make millions of dollars knowing that Nike is going to have to come after him. And if Nike signs him, they're going to sign him to something that's much larger, because they want to make up for the fact that the kid blew out, or almost had a tragic injury. So look for that. Bottom line up front, number one. Hey, spring training has begun. I could care less what the records are. It's February, but it is baseball. What I will say that what is a little bit of a surprise, yep, it's also going to, you got it, Mike, it's going to increase his shoe deal. It's going to increase it either through Nike having to throw more money at him, or somebody like Puma who's going to throw money at him saying, hey, don't go with them, go with us. And did you notice that Puma had to take down their tweet that they had knocking him, because it was one of those things, got to be PC nowadays. So it was a major event that Puma, they had a crass comment. They've already taken it down. So we'll see on that. But again, Williamson's going to be making millions of dollars. Again, spring training. Yeah, that's right. Nike can't afford it. That's for sure. Surprisingly, a 90-win team from last year is 0-3. And again, I say that only because there's been at most 3 games played in spring training. But the Rays, who are a 90-win team last year, have yet to win a game. I'm not really going to go into spring training other than that. That's a big story. The biggest story so far, and I think we just had it this week as well, is the $300 million contract that Manny Machado got. But the fact is that Bryce Harper is still out there, and he has not signed with anybody. So we'll see what's going on there. And again, I haven't opened up the phone lines yet. We don't do that until after the bluff is given. So we'll do that. Hopefully we'll get some calls. I don't want this to be the shortest show on record, so we'll talk about that. In football, the NFL, there's views. There's been some conjecture out there that the Cardinals might make a move for Kyler Murray, because this has been some of the conjecture that I've heard out, is the fact with Antonio Brown being out there and the Steelers needing to make a trade. There was some conjecture today. I was listening to one of the sports wraps, and it was that the Steelers would trade for the Cardinals. They'd give them Antonio Brown and the number 3 pick for their pick, they would take Antonio Brown and a number 3 for Josh Rosen, who is obviously the Cardinals' rookie quarterback from last year, and maybe Josh Rosen would be the quarterback of the future for the Steelers. Now that's some really wild conjecture, but it would make sense for both parties, because again, the Steelers are going to need somebody to come in after Big Ben has hung them up. I was speaking with my friend Rusty Hilger earlier, and by the way, make sure you check out the broadcast or the premiere show of the Black Shield and Gallon Wheel podcast, where Rusty Hilger was my guest. He was talking about Mason Rudolph. The Steelers haven't figured out who's going to be their quarterback. They the big swing and a miss with Landry Jones. They drafted Mason Rudolph, who has some capabilities out of Oklahoma State, and Josh Dobbs, who is from UT a couple years ago, who was their backup this year for most of the time. Do you really want to see that offense go with him? And I don't think so. So conjecture there, who will be following Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh? And I said, just one of the many things that are going on. A lot of talk before the draft, obviously. And remember, the Combine starts this Friday. The Lake Show. The Lakers, are they going to make the playoffs? Remember, LeBron has been in, the last 8, 9, 12? I can't even remember how many finals in a row. But is he going to do it again? I don't think so. The Lakers with LeBron himself he was out 23 games this year. So without him being in there, and the fact that team has not gelled, I don't see LeBron going to the playoffs. I think that probably the best thing for the LeBron and LA would be the fact that they missed the playoffs and they get a higher draft pick in the NBA draft, and they get somebody that's going to help them later on. In the NHL, the Lightning are, again, running away with the President's Trophy, 15 points ahead of their closest competition, which is the Calgary Flames. Yeah, I know it's Calgary. And as far as something that's close to my heart, Carter Hart, the great young goaltender for the Flyers, they're out for a while. Navy Chief, Navy Pride, Raider Nation, Andrew Ashmore, thanks for coming aboard. And I will open up that phone line in just a minute. Hopefully we'll get some calls. In the Alliance of American Football, my team, it's weird to say my team, not talking about the Raiders. The Orlando Apollos are 3-0 under Steve Spurrier. Great showing for the Apollos. Probably, if I get a chance to, I'll probably go on out there and see a game sometime soon. So look for me out there, as soon as I can get a chance to go. Got a lot going on, but we'll see. And something that's a little bit dear to my heart, I was watching the Football Life where Tony Romo had his episode tonight, and it was going over when Tony Romo actually became the starting quarterback for the Cowboys. I can tell you exactly what date it was. It was 23 October 2006. Why do I know that? Because that was the same date that I had my triple bypass surgery, And I woke up just in time, literally at halftime, going into the third quarter when Tony Romo started playing for the Cowboys. And it was weird. His first pass was an interception. It was a tip ball interception. But again, that's near and dear to me because, again, that was the night that I woke up from my triple bypass, 23 October 2006. So, again, something that was close to me. It was weird watching it. But I saw that today. And while we have the Academy Awards going on, I ask you, if you make a phone call or if you're doing some type here in the comments, what's your favorite movie? And it could be a sports movie. You can say, hey, my favorite sports movie is blank. Or what's your favorite movie overall? And I'll give you guys my answers at the end of the show. One other thing we're going to be doing after we do the bluff is how your team's doing. I'll tell you how mine are. It's a very good week for the captain. My Gators in the NCAAs have won 4 straight, including the overtime beating a number 13 LSU this week, 82-77. And then just yesterday, they came back from 12 down to beat Missouri. Thank God, because, when I started watching them, they were down a horrific amount, ended up winning 64-60. So congrats to my Gators. My Phillies are 2-1 in spring training. The Flyers, again, my Flyers are 6-3-1 for their last 10. The best thing is they beat the Pens in overtime on the Outdoor Classic, so it's always fantastic to beat the Penguins. Great win by my Flyers and in overtime. But again, it's going to be hard with Carter Hart being out, so hopefully he'll be back, real soon. But was it the kid that was playing goalie for him that came back from his injury, and they got the other guy from, I think it was from Ottawa, that they traded Stellaris for. So again, good luck to my Flyers. And then finally, as I stated, the Orlando Apollos, 3-0. 3-0 in the Alliance of American Football. So that was my bottom line up front, the bluff, and how are your teams doing? So let's open up those phone lines. Let's get it open here. Going to go into my Google Hangouts. Got Captain Jack. It is there. I believe it's up and available. So yep, that's my Google account. Go ahead and call in. So, yep, I'm up on that Google. So the number is, as it says, 813-699-0834. See, I don't even have to look at it. 813-699-0834. Mike, you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody. I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to. Obviously Queen was one of my favorites growing up. I didn't know anything about the whole Queen thing. Again, I don't, not even going to discuss that issue. I just know that music can't beat Freddie Mercury, can't beat Roger May, can't beat Queen. Love Queen. Day at the Races, The Night at the Opera. Was it Jazz? Had Bicycle on it. Another one, Bites the Dust, was one. I can go through Queen. Love Queen. Not a bad album out there. Love Bohemian Rhapsody. Hunter Killer is the only movie I've seen this year. What was a Hunter Killer? Now that was the Navy movie, and I was told that that was a decent film. It was in and out of the studios real quick, so I didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm probably going to have to wait to see it when it goes on to like HBO or one of the other pay channels. Here's the thing. Being a Navy intel guy, and when you're in the military, I know Andrew will back me up on this as well, is that when you watch a military movie, you are the analyst. You are just like saying, just ripping it apart from all the different things. Like I said, if you're in the Army, you're ripping across Army movies. what is real, what is fake, what is such BS. Like, for example, Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide, they have an admiral coming out to brief, goes into maneuvers. That is a bunch of crock. Lori Lamp, hey, I miss you too, sweetheart. It'd be great to have you call in if you can. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for coming aboard, Lori. I love my Raiderettes, love my wenches. I'm going to make sure I haven't done that hashtag in a while. Love my wenches. Love to see that. So, again, always great to see you there, and I'll give you a kiss as well. Thank you there, darling. Call in, and we'll talk. You know what? If you want to talk movies, you want to talk sports, you don't know Jack. As a submariner, I actually enjoyed it and didn't rip it apart. Okay, Andrew, that's great. So I tell you what, though, not that I'm letting the cat out of the bag, you have a Russian guy that's taken over. It's a little on the. It kind of reminded me of Crimson Tide in that respect. But, with that Russian issue, don't forget to wish Freddie B a great, hey, yes, that's right, Freddie Bolitnikoff, a belated happy birthday. I think it was a couple of days ago. So, again, belated happy birthday to Freddie Bolitnikoff. And, in fact, speaking of Freddie Bolitnikoff, and I was showing these earlier from my trip to the flea market today, actually yesterday. One of the prizes that I got out of the flea market, definitely going up in the room. Freddie B and Kenny Snake signed here. Great picture. Things that I'm going to be adding to the room. I can't wait for the studio to come to fruition. So I got a couple nice framed works from the add up to to the room. It was awesome. It was awesome. So again, thanks for coming aboard. We got at least a couple subscribers. The line is open. I hope that we can have some callers call in, because again, we're just going to be sitting here. You're going to be looking at me, look at the screen, and oh man, you definitely don't want that, because other than talking about what the it is a very nice pick, Lori, very nice pick, and in fact. What I will be able to show you is that it is a print of the actual pick. Again, for $10, you're not getting a signed copy. That is a signed copy. You're getting a print of the signed copy, but still, it's very nice. So again, I have that going out. So it is very sharp. Lori, you're just going to have to come down and see the studio when it's done, sweetheart. I definitely love. And remember, Lori is related to Freddie B. For those that don't know, Lori is from the the Erie area, and in fact, I have some real Freddie B prints right up above. So I definitely have enough Freddie B prints, but I'm waiting. I'm going to hang out with Lori Lamp for sure the next time I get a chance to. So. When it gets a little bit warmer up there, Lori, make sure let me know. All I ask is a couch and a plug-in for my CPAP. I went over to my son's house this past weekend. I said where I went to the flea market, and I forgot my CPAP. So wow, talk about a hard last couple nights of sleeping, both Friday and Saturday. I mean, I got minimal sleep because I didn't have my CPAP with me. And, I actually was kind of afraid of, remember, thank you, darling. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out with my girl, Lori Lamp. Love my Raiders. Love my wenches. Love my wenches. But thank you, sweetie. But again, with sleeping, I tell you what, as long as I have my CPAP, and I said I can't remember the last 10 years. that I forgot my CPAP, and it sucked. This last 2 days. Tommy Beard, thanks for coming aboard. And Tommy, I don't know if you saw the bottom line up front, but I was crowing about my Gators in the NCAAs. The fact that they have won 4 straight, especially that overtime win over LSU and the comeback win over Mizzou. I know that Tommy Beard's here, so he's going to talk some Canes. But if you want to talk some other things, like I said, Tommy Beard, you know what the number is. 813-699-0834. Lori Lamp, you definitely can call in, honey. It'd be great to hear from you as well. But the lines are open, and I am trying to get everybody to come on over here to YouTube because, again, the quality of the picture, the quality of the sound, and it's only going to get better when I use my boom mics in the new room. There's not the I tell you, it's a lot better experience. And Tommy, thank you for joining me. Tommy, how you doing here on the You Don't Know Jack About Sports show? How you doing there, brother?
I'm all right.
Talk to me, brother. What's going on in your life?
Right now, I'm sitting in the dark.
Oh,
we got power outages out because we got winds up to 60 miles per hour.
Okay, and that's up in Maryland. So you're in a power outage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you spending some time. When did the folks say they were going to be able to come over and get you hooked up with some power, shipmate?
They have no idea. Because western part of Virginia is all out. I know I'm in West Virginia right now. I'm only like an hour outside of D.C. and about an hour and 45 minutes from Baltimore. And the whole north side of Martinsburg, where I'm at, the city that I'm in, is completely shut down and out.
Okay, well, keep. I know it's cold up there, so please keep as warm as you can, and everybody here will think positive thoughts for you, Tommy B, and make sure you take care of yourself, brother.
Yeah, it's 43 right now.
Still, man, it's still cold.
Yeah, 43 is good in February right now. Trust me.
Well, I know it could be
if you can get 40s, you can get 40s, 50s, 60 right now, I'd be happy with it in February.
I got you. I ain't going to tell you what it's been like in Florida, but, when I'm rolling around here.
I already know because Big L always reminds me of message.
rolling around in my shorts and my T-shirt. Yeah, I know. He's
trying so hard to get me to move down there around the Orlando area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got nothing keeping you up there, I mean, I don't know what you got, but your decision, Tommy. It's always good to see you, brother.
Trust me, I'm seriously thinking about it.
Okay, and I don't know. Did you see what Andrew was saying? He lives in Southern Maryland, but he's in Connecticut. Hey, Andrew, I bet you're up in Rotten Groton because being a submariner. And I'll say submariner for Andrew because you normally say submariner, being the operative fund there. But I will say submariner out of respect for Andrew. Oh, Mahershala Ali is one for something. Not sure which.
I guess you've seen the Gators. I mean, Gators.
Be nice. Be nice. Be nice.
Took 2 games out of 3 against Miami this weekend.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you. I wasn't able to see. Is that in baseball or softball? Baseball. Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
Miami won game 1 Friday night. Should have won last night. Blew it with the bullpen. Just completely had the lead. What was it? 3-0, and just completely brought the bullpen in and completely just fell apart.
Okay.
And the day I didn't get to watch. The day I didn't really get to watch it.
Well, like I said, I was looking for it, but I only was able to pull up the basketball for NCAA, and I didn't get a chance to pull up baseball. Remind me, said, hey Schmuck, and you can call me that. Hey Schmuck, Captain Jack, make sure you pull up college baseball as well, so we'll be able to talk about that. But still, Miami was
college baseball right now. The only way you can find it is if you can. Luckily, with having the Xfinity with cable, you can go in through on demand and pull it up off the ESPN3 app.
Okay.
And watch it through that way.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know what my son has. I mean, I have DirecTV, and he didn't have DirecTV. He has some sort of video hookup, and I ain't gonna bitch because I am a guest at his house. I wasn't able to watch the hockey game last night between the Flyers and the Penguins. I just saw the scores at the very end of the night. But he had a unique setup with there's channels like the HIN channel and the Get channel. I don't know. I've never heard of these channels, but I'm watching Black Sheep Squadron, the pilot episode, and I'm like, this is cool. So, it was cool watching, again, being a military guy. Andrew was talking to me about that, watching Black Sheep Squadron. Actually, at that time, it was called Baba Black Sheep. It didn't even go over to Black Sheep Squadron on some channels I'd never seen before. So, I'm back here with with DirecTV, but I'm going to look for these channels again, and hopefully I'll get something as well. But congrats.
I know the women's basketball team did something they haven't done in 5 years.
And they beat a top 10, right?
No, they've done that. They beat Florida State. They have not beaten Florida State in 5 years.
Wow.
They came close.
Right.
They have not beaten them in 5 years. They finally jumped that mountain. This year, this women's team is not no year. By what they're saying right now, this team could be a 4 seed. Depends on what happens at the end of the year. Well, I think it's March 4th.
Yeah.
March 5th.
Yeah.
When they play NC State, they could get a 3 seed.
Well, a heartfelt good on you from because that I'm not a big fan, but for you I keep up as much as I can with stuff because I know that I need to make sure to keep my wits about me so that I know exactly what I'm talking about if any sort of hurricane talk is out there.
And I got an email from the university. What's today? Sunday. What was it? Wednesday? Thursday? That tickets are all sold out for the Florida game.
Okay. Which doesn't surprise me.
That tickets are completely gone.
Yeah.
Your best shot probably is to do StubHub or something closer, like a couple weeks before or wherever you met. Was it Ticketmaster or whatever? And look and see.
Well, you know what? Honestly, Tommy, you know what we could do? It's going to be played over down at the Citrus Bowl, correct?
I think so.
Okay. What we could probably end up doing is if you want to come down for it, we'll go off of Church Street, and we can go to Church Street, hang out, and have like a couple adult drinks and stuff to eat. I'm not a big drinker, but I'll have something to eat and maybe maybe a beer or two, and then you can have whatever you want, and then we can make our way over to the stadium. And then we'll wait until the scalpers have like X amount of tickets, and we'll find whatever we can. Just get inside and watch.
I mean, I want to go, but it all depends on what's going on here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be even able to go to New York now because there's a lot going on here that was unexpected.
Okay. Well, you make sure you take care of yourself. And getting back with Lori, I only have one line available. So when there's the line, when the line is on, when Tommy's talking, you won't be able to call in. But I didn't hear the call again. So if you want to call in again and Tommy gets bounced, I'll know about it because I'll hear if there's another caller calling in. And remember, obviously it's working, or Tommy wouldn't be on. So go ahead and try to call in. Oh, remember, if you can't get that number, Lori, it's 813-699-0834. I don't see. I'm going to have to try to move that. Hate doing it during the middle of the show, but let me see if I can get it to work up here.
Did you see the reports out of Pittsburgh?
Which ones?
Where the ownership of the Steelers came out and they said they will not trade Antonio Brown to an AFCP. It will be an NFCP.
Yes, I heard those reports, and it makes sense to them. I mean, why give up an asset that's going to come back and haunt you? And I can agree with that. I mean, why help somebody that's in your conference? I understand that.
They said he will not go to New England, and he will not 100% go to New England, and they really don't want it to be in any conference team. They want to go to the NFC.
And he's been up and down talking about going to San Francisco. That him and Jerry Rice are having that bro fest type of thing going on. So we'll see what happens there. But again, there's the talk that I don't know if you heard from the talk that I had at the very front, where there's conjecture that the Cardinals will take Antonio Brown and throw a 3 over to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Antonio Brown for Josh Rosen. So we'll see if that happens. And then, of course, it would be open up that they would probably take a quarterback. Could it be Kyler Murray? We don't know. But we'll see what it could be. But again, things are going to get interesting. The longer Antonio Brown remains out there, and also, and I know that you're up on this as well, with Bryce Harper doing a second meeting with the ownership of the Phillies out in Vegas. They said that, I think Buster Olney was conjecturing that it'll be resolved by Tuesday, and we'll know where Bryce Harper will end up.
Yeah, I sent that to you through Messenger. I got that this morning.
Yeah.
He's going. I've said it from the get-go. He's going to Philadelphia.
Well, I'd like to see that, but I don't care how he feels about it, just as long as he plays up to his contract.
I'm very. I mean, I've seen reports that he turned down. What was it? Harper turned down 3 to 4 contracts for $3 million or more.
Well, you know what?
I still said, and I know a bunch of National fans are mad at me, but I said it from the get-go. When they screwed over Dusty Baker the way they screwed him over, they lost any chance possible to get him.
Yeah.
To re-sign Harper.
Yeah, and Dusty was, give Dusty a break. I mean, he is a player's coach, but Dusty was unceremoniously and wrongly removed from that job. I would have given him another year. I mean, hell, guys like Fisher that stand years and years as a coach of the Titans. At least Dusty had done something with the Nationals, and I can't see why they got rid of him.
Wins.
Exactly.
90+ wins and won the division with over, what was it, 10 games or more, 2 years in a row?
Yes.
And you're going to screw him over.
Very wrong. Very wrong.
I'm sorry. I wasn't a fan of the Nationals, but I was a supporter for living in the area like you do with Tampa.
Yep.
But it turned me off so much in that organization. I was hoping whatever. That way you did Dusty Baker was wrong.
It is, and I'll tell you what. If, like I said, if that welcome mat to Harper happens, give me a heads up as to when that first series will be, and I'll see if I can make my way up there.
I can pull it up on the point.
Yeah, Jared.
Because I can pull it up on my phone when I get off the air with you.
Okay. Well, then we'll see if I can make it happen. Maybe on a weekend, but give me some heads up. And Jared, yes, you can call in. Remember, people have at least 5 minutes to talk, and you can bounce them after 5. And my boy Tommy Beard has done at least 5 minutes. So Jared, come on in and call in. You got it. It's always a pleasure to talk to Tommy, though.
And I don't like what Major League Baseball did with the Red Sox.
Hey, Tommy, wait, you're going to have to tell me about that at another time because Jared has bounced you, shipmate.
Bye.
All right. Always good talking with Tommy Beard, and we are talking with Jared, my boy from Pittsburgh. How you doing there, shipmate?
Hey, Captain Jack. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Yes, I was just watching the Oscars, so I figured how it's in the middle of the Oscars, I'd give you a call.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Oscars on as well. I watch the Oscars every year, but I tell you what, the best way to watch the Oscars nowadays is to keep the volume down because you don't have to listen to the drivel.
Oh, I know. There's some good ones here and there, but yeah, the drivel goes on too long. You're right, though. Well, I've asked the $1,000,000 question. However, we know the Coliseum is now going to be their home for another year or so.
It's no. It's not. Nothing is official until it's written.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It looks that way. And again, I can't stand the friggin' guy who did the chump piece for Yahoo Sports that says that the Raiders were come crawling back to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know what? F you. You.
I saw that piece too, and he was a piece of crap.
It was a hack job. It was a hack job.
That was a total hack job. But obviously, how everyone keeps saying the big story is they might be going after Kyler Murray in the first round. I don't know if Gruden wants to do that though.
Well, did you? Were you here for the opening where I said that there was conjecture that the Cardinals might be taking Antonio Brown and a third for Rosen, and then that they would possibly take Kyler Murray with the number 1 pick? Honestly, I don't think Kyler Murray deserves the number 1 pick. If you're gonna take a quarterback with the number 1 pick, I think the best quarterback between the two with more upside is Hankins. Is it Hankins or Haskins out of Ohio State? Yeah, and again, I don't think any of them deserve to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's been the drama here for the last several weeks. I mean, Antonio's this, Antonio's that. Same with Le'Veon Bell. I mean, free agency's in a few weeks. I mean, it looks like, after what Bell and Brown have been saying the last several weeks, it's time for them to just say goodbye. It's time to pack the bags. We're going to let you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's been the drama here. However, I mean, between that and the hockey team, but like I said, I mean, the big question is what are the Steelers going to do in the draft? I keep hearing Mel Kiper did a mock draft recently. I heard the guy from Georgia, the defensive end Carter, is a possibility at 20.
Well, I tell you, and Tommy makes a good point. All the quarterbacks in this draft will not be good. At least the first round guys. Locke from Missouri is going to suck. Haskins is not worth the first rounder. And Kyler Murray, I think, will probably be the best of them. But that will be until we figure out whether he can actually sustain a couple years in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say this could be a good year for running backs. It's a good year for receivers. So, I mean, we're going to see where the running backs and receivers are going to fall once the combine hits in a few weeks, though, however.
Well, remember, combine starts on Friday. I know we'll all be ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. Between that and the AAF, go figure. I mean, I watched a little of that AAF game today between Memphis and Birmingham, and I think it was Atlanta. That's what it was. And that was entertaining. But like I said, I think right now more and more it's looking like it's going to be a 1 year hit wonder, and then they're going to be done. I mean, they barely made payroll last week, however, and who knows how much longer they're going to be able to survive.
Well, this actually reminds me, and you're probably not old enough to know this. Jared, you said you're what, about 20? You're in your 20s. I'm taking 42. It. How old? 42.
42.
Okay, well, you definitely have a younger voice, so I give you positives there. I don't know. Have you ever heard about the WFL?
Yeah, I remember seeing some tape on it not too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah. The WFL would actually, and I got somewhere. I actually have like a pennant for the Florida Blazers, which were the best team in the WFL. Jack Pardee was their coach, and they got a bunch of autographs on it somewhere in here. I got to actually find it. But they were the shit, back when. Yeah. And, they couldn't make payroll after a while. So yeah. I think that, unfortunately, we'll see what's going on here. Kyle Murphy. Oh, yeah, I think it's Kyler. You're thinking about Kyler Murray there, Ed Winchell. And I hope that the Raiders don't draft him.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, we've seen somewhat semi-pro leagues go and come and go. I mean, the World League of American Football, the WLAF, of course, we had the USFL, and now they're talking about bringing the XFL back. It's just like, guys, give it a rest, It's not, it's a disaster waiting to happen. It really is. I mean, the only people that are definitely getting big markets are like LA and New York and Seattle. I mean, they're thinking, Tampa Bay is going to be successful. Washington's playing at a 20,000 seat stadium. Houston's playing in their own University of Houston stadium. It's desperate right now. They're actually really desperate at this point.
Well, the one owner for the Carolina Panthers came in and helped them save payroll. So good to go on that. This is that comedian. I don't know who the Asian girl is, but I'm keeping this is the sports show that's going on right now. I don't know who the Asian girl is. And again, I don't really care about the volume, but I do know that the guy's a comedian. But as far as payroll, I think that if they can make it through a couple more weeks, the product will be there, and that they will have people that will kind of glom on and make it happen. Yeah. What I think is probably going to be what they might end up doing, and again, I'm kind of projecting this. I don't know where the XFL is. I know that Oakland has a franchise coming in the XFL next year, but if they need to make it a stronger force, they might consider merging the XFL and the AAF and seeing if they can do things that way and making it a viable product. So I don't think both leagues are going to be able to survive, but one strong league might be able to. But it all depends upon if the AAF can get through this year, be a viable product, and then you get to it next year with the XFL coming in. I don't think they're going to compete against each other, and I think that they're going to cancel each other out. I think the best thing that can happen to them would be if they do a merge together, but that's just me thinking ahead of the game.
It could happen. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. So, but yeah, just want to give you a call and know what's going on. I'm going back to the office now, so I just wanted to check in. And like I said, if I hear anything else, I'll let you know.
Well, thanks for calling in. I take it you've already subscribed to the page.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to continue to follow it.
Okay, thanks again. Push it out to all of those folks, and thank you again there, Jared, for calling in, Shipmate. We'll see you on the other shows.
All right, Jack. I'll see you soon. Bye.
All right, thanks again, and that's my boy Jared in Pittsburgh, who knows what's up, and thank you for all that are here. I'm pretty sure that most everybody that's here is already subscribed, and I thank you. The line is open, so I know that we got I got somebody else calling in. Thank goodness. Dave Cerullo, how are you doing, brother? Good to hear from you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's so nice because Dave and I had these talks where it was through my voice messenger, and I never really got a chance to actually tell me, because Dave's not on Facebook. So it's good that, excuse me, that Dave gets a chance to watch. And, like I said, not everybody is on Facebook. And let me see who's calling in. Hot Neil, you're going to have to wait until Dave Cerullo is. So everybody gets at least 5 minutes. Dave Cerullo, go ahead, shipmate. Good hearing from you, brother.
Hey, good hearing from you too, man. So anyway, I want to talk about what do you think we're going to do at running back? I know Marshawn is probably not going to come back. So what do you think the plans are for that? And also, what have you heard about the possibility of Derek Carr being gone? I have read reports where there's a good chance he's not coming back.
Well, Derek is still under contract, so he's property of the Raiders, so he will be unless the Raiders make a deal. I think that we will find out by draft day, because if the Raiders deal Carr, and God help us if they do deal Carr, but if the Raiders deal Carr, it'll probably be right before the draft or on draft day. So if he's still a Raider by the end of the first round, I think that he will be a Raider for this year. We'll see that. I don't know why, if you're the Raiders, why would you want another quarterback even if you like Kyler Murray, let's say the Raiders like Kyler Murray, let's say the Raiders are stupid enough to draft Kyler Murray at number 4. Yes, I said stupid because, again, I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to live up to the poundings that the NFL is at. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll find out within a couple years if I'm wrong. But if the Raiders like Kyler Murray and they want to draft him, okay, you draft him at number 4, but why would you want to give Carr up to see what you got in Kyler Murray? You want Kyler Murray to at least study under a quarterback that is going to show you the ropes, and then you have an option because Carr signed at least through next year, and I believe through the year after that. Excuse me.
Correct.
No, Ed, drafting Kyler Murray, in my estimation, is not a good move. You got other things to do with 3 first-round picks. That's my conjecture, Edward. That's my conjecture.
Yeah, I agree with you too. There's a lot of holes to fill, and I don't believe that's one of them.
That's right. I mean, if you and here's the other thing, there are a boat ton of really good quarterbacks that are available in the 2020 draft. Not this year's draft, next year. The kid out of Georgia, Fromm, is going to be available. And there are a couple other ones, and just that one comes to mind. And I don't want to go with a small quarterback that is maybe like a 1 or 2 year wonder when I'm going to have, let's say, for example, I get involved with Fromm, and I like Fromm, by the way, as a quarterback of the future. If the Raiders want to go quarterback next year, go get Fromm out of Georgia, okay? Don't blow your wad with Kyler Murray. Get Carr a good offensive line, see what he can do, and do that. Get him a good and it doesn't necessarily need to be first-round guys. Although if there's a first-round guy that's available that's good to go, get him. Jonah Williams, maybe if you trade back from number 4 to, like, say, number 7 or wherever the Jaguars are picking. I think they're picking at 7. If you drop from 4 to 7, maybe the best offensive lineman is available, and that's Jonah Williams. And, oh, by the way, his shipmate over on the other side of the line at Alabama is going to be a good get at maybe the 2nd or 3rd round. So, again, why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe you're going to move Parker from right tackle to right guard. I don't know. I think that maybe actually take it back. You move Gabe Jackson from right guard to left guard. You get rid of Kelechi Osemele. But, by the way, I will say this: Osemele has dropped a lot of weight, and that is supposedly really good in the Gruden system. Or sorry, in the Cable system. So if you got really good tackles, you got bouncier guards, and if Osemele is playing to what Cable wants, although I don't like the system, but I don't care what the system is as long as they play well. If you got a good offensive system and you got Carr back there, and the offensive line produces in such a way that they are 2016 pre ankle injury, okay,
Correct.
we'll go from that. So I tell you what, I don't want to get a quarterback in the first round. If you want to have a quarterback, draft one in the 5th round or the 6th round and see what you got. Okay.
I agree with you because I have talked to people about that. I've seen out when that line in 2016, the way they protected and the way Derek Carr played with Bill Musgrave as his coordinator. He was up for MVP until he got hurt.
That's right.
And then it went down and people were criticizing Derek. And I said, okay, who did we have? Todd Downing, who had never been an offensive coordinator before.
Big mistake.
And, we only really had Crabtree. Cooper was Cooper, show up 1 week and then be gone for 3 weeks. And then, this year we had a patched up, offensive line. We lost Marshawn, all we had was Jared Cook. So, a lot of Derek, I feel like, in my opinion, played well for what he had.
Yeah, I tell you what.
I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Well, you did say that Marshawn is not coming back. If the Raiders play in Oakland, there's no reason why Marshawn wouldn't be back.
Correct.
So if the Raiders play in Oakland, and then I owe Ed Winchell a bunch of what is it? I owe Ed Winchell a case of pop. We'll go from that, but because that was what the bet was. But we'll see what happens. I don't want a quarterback this draft. I tell you what, if we do get a quarterback, make them a project pick in the 5th and 6th round, something like that. Go after a quarterback in 2020, and if you're me, go. And this is a Gator saying this. Get from Georgia. Kid is going to be a really good quarterback.
I got one more question for you. What are we going to do free agency?
Well,
are we going to hit any big names out there? I have seen several, that are going to be available, and some guys, especially defensively, that could really, really help us out a lot.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to get some picks, and remember, and Neil has stated this as well. We got 3 first-rounders this year. We got 2 first-rounders next year. We're going to be big in free agency, as Rusty Hilger said in the interview, and I hope you guys go back and watch the Rusty Hilger interview. It was great. The fact is, give Gruden a chance to get this team up and running. Give him a chance to make the players the way he wants. Hot Neil, when people get 5 minutes, I'll let you know. Stand by. David has been in a couple more minutes. Hot Neil, you can call in. But yeah, let Gruden get the team he wants. Let him build it. I think that, in fact, there was one person, I don't remember what the source was, but there was a lady stating that this could be a playoff caliber year. This could be a bounce back year for the Raiders. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I will say that I tell you what, we'll be a lot better this year. Undoubtedly, we can't go. In my mind, we can't get any worse than 4-12.
Correct. I think it will be. I think a lot of it, to me, is going to depend on free agency. If we can nail 1 or 2 of them big guys out there, a Clowney, somebody like that, to where we can come in and we have a guy that knows can play, can have some leadership, I believe we can be.
Yeah, I mean, Clowney would be a hell of a free agent pickup. Yes. If you want to make a trade with maybe, and I've seen that the Jaguars want to give up the kid out of Florida State that played like Ramsey. There you go. He would be a nice get. I tell you, if Bo, and I don't want Joey Bosa. I don't want Nick. Sorry, I don't want Nick Bosa. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. But if he's available, you're going to have to get him. I don't know. Tommy says we're going to go 8-8, 7-9. I can agree with that. Maybe even 9-7. But I'll say that we shouldn't be no worse than 7-9 this year, and that's just based upon that the team is going to gel this year. It's going to be great as far as getting the players together. We might not be a playoff caliber team, but we're going to be a hell of a lot better. And I tell you what, by the time we hit Vegas in 2020, we are going to be on the outskirts, if not knocking on the door or busting through for a playoff spot in 2020. And yes, Hot Neil, if you want to call in now, David is going to be finishing his call pretty soon. Correct there, Dave? Or what else you got for me?
No, that's correct. Now, I just want to get your opinion on those things and see what you thought. And good to talk to you. And, man, you've got some real nice Raider get up there, man.
Oh, just wait until the studio gets done, man, and all of this stuff is on the walls. Just wait. It's going to look a lot nicer when it gets done.
Right.
All right. Well, hey, Dave, good talking to you, shipmate. Thanks for calling in.
You bet.
All right. That is my boy Dave Cerullo, who is in Kansas, or otherwise known as Raider Hell. Being a Raider fan in Kansas, yeah, I know. But the line is open, 813-699-0834. Tommy doesn't want Ramsey. I want him if John Gruden wants him. That's what I'm saying. I want him if John Gruden wants him. And again, this team is going to be what John Gruden wants. And we'll see about that. Visual effects. Avengers Infinity War. Figure since we got, okay, Hot Neil, line is open. Where are you going, Hot Neil? Where are you going? Are you going to call? We'll see. Line is open, 813-699-0834. I haven't been keeping up, but I know that Roma has won a few. I know that Bohemian Rhapsody has won a few. And we have a call. It is Hot Neil. How you doing, Hot Neil? What's going on with you, brother?
What's up, Captain?
Long time. Well, I'm glad that you got to the page. You said that you were having problems with the page, but I hope that you will subscribe, and I hope we'll have you on. We'll get you over there.
I did already.
Okay.
I had to update my phone. That's what happened.
Okay.
But I see you live. I see your face now.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you're there.
And also, I want to tell you that Mom said hi.
Tell Mom I said hi too.
I want to make a few comments.
Sure.
Hey, what about Carr? Probably not being with us.
Who? No. Whoa. Who said that I said Carr wasn't going to be with us?
No. I'm saying people are saying not you. People are saying that Carr isn't going to be with us.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Remember, if Chucky takes Carr out of the Raiders, he owes him a lot of money. This is like $millions.
Actually, you know what? You're wrong there, Hot Neil. We can get rid of Carr, and it's not as big of a salary cap hit this year and next year as people think. I think that as far as dead money, it's only, and I say only in parentheses, I think that the salary cap hit of dead money, I believe, is only, I want to say $7 million. Okay. And I know that it goes down next year. So I think that the operative time, if you are John Gruden and if you want to get rid of Derek Carr, is not this year, but next year in 2020, where it becomes very affordable. Each year that goes by, it becomes much more affordable for having Derek Carr gone. And that's only if Gruden wants it.
Do you think we're going to improve by getting kids from college? Our game is going to improve.
No. There is no college quarterback that is out there.
In general, if we pick kids from college, it's going to improve.
Okay, your question is, do we think I'm going to improve with a college quarterback? No. That's why I said, if you're going to draft a quarterback, honestly, I would wait until next year, 2020, as Neil was saying as well. Justin Herbert is available. Okay. You have, like I said, Fromm, who I think is going to be a fantastic quarterback. I'm going to actually turn this up a little bit. This is what I've been waiting on pretty much all night. Is Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga singing that what's the name of that song? It was up for all the I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, it's the one that gets all the airplay. But I'll turn it down after. But go ahead. I don't think that it's going to be it's going to be it's not happening in my mind this year.
I don't know that I can do, but okay, please don't. I don't want legislation to know that nothing like that true. But back in the late 90s, we did the same thing. And the dummy I said, and I'm not a kind of ready that will burn my clothes when I say this home ready all the way to the end. That he didn't brought one single ring to us. You think this year he will improve?
Okay, what's your question there, Hot Neil? I'm sorry.
Do you think John Gruden is going to improve the Raiders this year that he did back in the late 90s?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, and what people are saying, I see that the rate. Remember John Gruden 1.0. He was 8-8, 8-8, 12-4, 10-6. Okay, but that team was more ready-made for him, where he could be 8-8 and 8-8. This team was a shambles, which he took over. So it's gonna take a while for him to get back to it. It's gonna take a while for him to get to a modicum of what he wants. So yeah, he was at 4-12 last year. I really see a 7-9 or an 8-8 coming up this year, and by 2020, like I said, I see no reason why the Raiders can't be a playoff caliber team. Whether they make it or not, we'll see. But I see no reason why they can't at least be popping on the door of the playoffs for their run in Vegas. And a lot of it is gonna depend upon what the Raiders do in free agency and this draft. This draft is so important. You got 3 first-round picks that you just can't blow. You can't blow these picks.
And another thing that I want to know if it's true or not true. Okay, because there's a lot of things going on and people like to talk shit about the Raiders. Is it true that once we get to Las Vegas, it's going to be the stadium a lot improved the old color field?
Oh, it's going to. Oh my God, yes. The stadium is going to be state of the art. Have you been to the Jerry World in Dallas by any chance?
No, sir.
Okay.
Never.
The stadiums nowadays, the way that Jerry Stadium, the Cowboys Stadium in Dallas, the way that the Minnesota Vikings Stadium, who, by the way, the same builders that did the Viking Stadium are the same guys that are doing the stadium out in Vegas. It's top notch. It's beautiful. There will be so many positive things about this stadium. It's unreal. So there will be nothing spared that this won't be the best stadium going period. Okay. And it will be the Raiders that will reap all of the benefits from that. But here's the thing. And I say this now, I will, for all of the people that are bitching about, well, the Raiders can't do this and they can't have tailgates and they're going to lose their home field advantage. Maybe not, but don't project that the Raiders are going to be able to do this. They're not going to be able to do that. You don't know until you go out there and experience it. Nobody effing knows until the season goes on and the Raiders are playing, and if they have this, that, and the other thing. And if they don't have tailgates, there's going to be just enough activity at other places, other venues in Vegas that will make up for it, okay? There might be
Okay.
tailgates in other areas. We don't know yet. But don't say it's not going to happen. And I'm not screaming at you, Hot Neil. I'm screaming at all of the people out there that are saying this, that, and the other thing, and they don't effing know, and it pisses me off.
Okay, 2 things, Captain. I want to tell you. First thing, I send you a picture through your messenger. If you've seen it, I send it to your messenger. What I told you, okay. And second, I was by your neighborhood 2 days ago.
You did what 2 days ago?
I was by your neighborhood.
In Tampa?
Yes, sir.
I was in I was in Melbourne this past weekend, partner.
Yeah, I had a gig to do out there for some rich people. I don't know if I told you, I'm a DJ by
Right.
trade.
Right. So you were over in the Tampa area.
Yes, sir. And I was trying to call you to say hi to you, and I call you at this number.
Yeah, no, this number is just for Google Chat. I don't monitor this number and the other number that I have that's another Google number. It's just for guests that call in for players.
Okay.
So this way it's so again, I apologize. I don't monitor this number only when I'm on doing live shows because it'll ring into my cell phone. I can see people that will ring in, but this is not my cell number.
Well, Captain, congratulations being on YouTube. I love it better than Facebook. Keep up the good job. Just a few minutes ago, I shared your post. So thank you for having me all the time, and God bless you, and good luck in your show. We hope to get a lot of Raider people coming into your show.
You know what, Pot Neil? I love the Raider Nation guys to come over, but I want everybody to come over. I want all the sports fans to come over because, like I said, we got a good clip of Raider folks here. We just got to get them off of Facebook. Okay, and I'm not saying for you to leave Facebook. I didn't say that at all. But when I do my shows, bring them on over here to YouTube.
No problem. You know me, I always show you your video and upload everything that you put out there.
And I appreciate it, Hot Neil. You be sure to take care of yourself. Say hi to Mom for me as well.
I will. So I'll see you soon, Captain.
All right. You take care of yourself, Hot Neil.
You too, sir.
All right. That was Hot Neil Flightus over here talking Raider football. Always good to hear him. And we've done an hour. We've done an hour already, which is great. This way you don't have to just watch me make an ass of myself in front of this, because otherwise I'm giving you play-by-play by what's going on in on the Academy Awards, because that's the sports show tonight, because the NBA is not on ABC. So somebody won, and some other people are freaking out that they won. Well, I'll tell you what the category is in a minute. Some hot redhead with a dress who almost fell down. This is the play-by-play, by the way. And some bald guy is taking a selfie. I will tell you who won as soon as they roll it. It is live-action short film for Skin, for a guy, Guy Nativ and Jaime Ray Newman, if it's French. So again, thank you for everybody that's here. Thank you for that is subscribed, and I want to thank everybody that's here. Obviously, Just Win Johnny, thanks again for coming in, and obviously Raider Neil, Mike Merkert again. It'd be great to hear from you. And again, my favorite wench here, Lori Lamp. Hopefully she's still with us. But again, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a member of and subscribing. Once I get 100 subscribers, I'll be able to change the channel name. And I was thinking Captain Jack's Galleon. I was thinking that because again, I like the way that runs. You know, the Galleon Studios here, but you know, Captain Jack's Galleon, kind of like what my group on Facebook as well. And again, thank you for coming over. Get the word out, man. Get the word out. We're having positive sports talk. We have Raider talk with the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast. That is going to be mostly Raider centric, but again, Hall of Famer Willie Roaf is going to be my guest on Wednesday. Willie Roaf, predominantly known as a member of the New Orleans Saints, and in the later portion of his career was a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Got a chance to talk to him through his missus, which was cool. So obviously the missus was doing all of the workings out. And thanks for everybody spreading the word. I'm heading to Jacksonville. Take care of yourself in Jacksonville, Hot Neil, and thanks to everybody for spreading the word. We want to make sure that we got people that are watching. Call in, make this show worthwhile, because again, this is a opportunity show. It's just not me sitting back and listening. You don't want to listen to me for an hour. Trust me, I can do it. It's hard. It is hard, but that's why we're going to talk your sports for your teams, and that's what the positives are here. Now, while we got a break in the action, let me go over to my computer here, my other computer. In case you have not been keeping up on, wrong keyboard. Where's my keyboard? See the perils of having two keyboards, and I can't wait until I get my room together so I can have this all in front of me. It'll be a lot better. I can't wait until the studio happens. It's looking really good, by the way. We're looking really good. Both can do it. Oh, incorrect password. No, I screwed up. Let me get this done. Hang on. Apologies here for the break in the festivities. All right. In case you don't know what's going on, let's go over the standings in the major sports. Obviously, the NFL is in the off season, and we all know that we're getting ready. We're getting ready for the Combine. That starts Friday. So Combine in Indianapolis starts Friday. The Green Book won for something. Didn't see what the category was. I heard really good things about that movie. I think that was what Mahershala Ali won for tonight as well. Oh, original screenplay. But again, if you don't know, in the Alliance of American Football, like I was saying before, Orlando is 3-0. Orlando is 3-0 in the Eastern Division, along with the Birmingham Iron. I don't know when they have their. That's going to be a very good contest to see when the Iron go up against the Apollos. I'll have to check the schedule, but I'll try to make it over to see that game, because that'll probably be good. Whereas the other two teams in the East, the Atlanta Legends and the Memphis Express, they suck. They're at 0-3. In the Western Division, the Hot Shots are at 2-1. The Commanders and the Fleet, they were playing on the NFL Network. I have no clue what the score is, because I will let you guys know. And the Stallions are also at 1-2. So kind of like a diversity there in the Alliance of American Football out in West. Johnny's an Iron fan. Iron of the where are they at? Iron. Oh, Birmingham. Okay. Johnny's a Birmingham fan. I'm an Apollos fan, obviously, because I'm a Gator. Steve Spurrier, and they're right down the street. And I'm from Orlando as a kid, so you'll have to gonna have to do that. Cap, want to hear what's in Kaepernick's award? The award, the citation was it was under lock and key. So that if they let it out, what do you call it? What the award was, it makes it null and void. So they're not going to do that. If he's smart, he's definitely not going to do anything to let out the money that he won. That's just stupid that way. So we'll see. And Bama because of the snake. I got you, Johnny. Now in the National Hockey League, as I was telling you guys before, the Lightning are running away with it. You know, they have the most point. I think they're let me see if I remember. I know that their closest opponent is 15 points behind them. So let's see. I don't know. I think they have. Is it 92 points already? Let me see this. I'll tell you in a minute. Wow, I'm a little bit about. They have 98 already. They're breaking 100 real within this week. 98 already. In number one in the Atlantic. Number one in the Metropolitan are the Islanders, which is Jimmy Farrell's team. And the wild cards, the two wild card teams right now is Montreal, La Habitant, and the Carolina Hurricanes. My Flyers are a couple games back at 65 points. The Penguins are just outside of the of that. Spike Lee won for something. Wow, Spike Lee just won for something. This is his first award. I know because I know that Spike Lee has never won for anything. I'll tell you what the category is as soon as I mean, this is amazing. Spike Lee, don't know what it was, but it director or something, cinematographer, I don't know what the hell it is. But Spike Lee won. Wearing gold tennis shoes. That's pretty cool. But Black Klansman. Okay, thanks there, Johnny. Adapted screenplay. Well, you know what? Good for Spike. I heard good things about that as well. Again, that's in hockey. That's in the East. Now, in the West, like I said, Calgary is the best team in the West with 83 points, and they're the best. And they're 15 points behind the Lightning. So the Pacific is tight with Calgary and San Jose within 1 point of them at 82. Vegas, who was the champion of the Pacific last year, is a distant third at 69. Over in the Central, the Jets of Winnipeg. Oh, wow, this is tight too. Winnipeg and Nashville, 78 and 77, respectively. And then St. Louis is a little bit back at 71. The wild cards right now are the Rockies. Or sorry, I take it back. The Avalanche went back way back hockey for Colorado. There was a Colorado Rockies hockey team. I know because I had their cards. So the Avalanche are number 2. Dallas is number 1 as the wild card. And then the worst teams, obviously, wow. The Kings at 52 points. So your LA team sucking. Now, in NBA, let me see, get that ready, and let's see what he got. Spike Lee joined. Yeah, I want to see Black Klansman. Like I said, I heard good things about it. So the one good thing about the can't keep connected this week is crazy. I tell you what, Lori, please be safe, honey. Please take care of yourself. Lots of love to you. Love my wenches. Love my wenches. Love my wenches. Best care to you, Lori Lamp. Take care up there in the Erie area. Get with me, and hopefully we'll get some things together so we can have you join me or join I and you together so we do some Raider events and celebrate your relative. Obviously, Freddie Blitnikoff. Love you too there, Miss Lori. Take care of yourself, and good night. Get some sleep. Back to the NBA. Take care, Lori. Everybody knows that in the NBA, basketball doesn't really start to me till June. Why? Because there's 82 games, and who cares? I mean, I watch hockey when my Flyers are playing or when the Lightning is playing because at least it's interesting. Basketball to me isn't interesting. It's a good game, but for those that are basketball snobs, good night to you, honey. That are basketball snobs, I prefer March Madness to the NBA until the playoffs because at least it's interesting. When you give me the conference finals in the NBA is when I start watching. Why? Because then you have the best 4 teams, or at least the best 4 teams predominantly that have deserved to be there. And that's when it gets interesting to me in the NBA. I'm sorry. That's me. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't watch the NBA All-Star game. It's a joke. Going back to the NBA in the East, the Bucks, best team in the East, followed closely by the Raptors. It was really good show with when the Raptors and the Rockets played the other night, and DeRozan came back to Toronto, and it was heartwarming to see, that he did not want to leave that city, and the fact that he gets traded for Kawhi. Okay, I know Kawhi is not going to be there next year. So that's just, to me, it's a shame. But getting back to point, the Bucks with the Greek Freak, a couple other good players. Wow. Pacers are number 3, and my childhood team of the Sixers in the number 4 spot, followed closely by the Celtics, the Nets, the Pistons, and the Hornets. So that's your top 8. Orlando is only a game out of the playoffs. Orlando. Amazing. So we'll see about that. I would call in and chop it up with you, but I have to walk the dog quick. All right, Johnny. Call in next time. Finals will be Golden State and Boston. Boston is the Celtics. The Raptors are Toronto. So which one is it going to be, Tommy? Or you're saying it's going to be either between Boston and the Raptors? Probably. We'll see. I don't think Boston's going to make it. No, I tell you what, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Raptors. All right, thanks, Johnny. Great hearing from you, and thanks for coming aboard. Again, basketball I don't really care until the end. So again, in case you were wondering, that's the breakdown of what's going on standings-wise out there in the leagues. So line is open. 813-699-0834. 813-699-0834. I'm like I said, I'm happy to give that, keeping one eye on the Oscars, not listening to the drivel that goes out, because again, very political. I go to the movies to escape politics, and I don't want to hear about it on an award show. I don't want to hear about it on the Grammys. I don't want to hear about it on the Oscars. I don't want to hear about it on the Emmys. And to me, those are the big 3. The Tonys, I don't watch the Tonys. I'm not into Broadway. Great to have it, but just not a Broadway fan. I'll go watch a Broadway show if I'm up there. But you get me a good Broadway show, and I'll get you there. But don't want to listen to political drivel on an award show. So we'll see that. Am I doing an NCAA bracket? I can. I tell you what it probably will be. That's a good idea, Tommy. Remind me of that, and then I will show you what it is. I admit it. I suck at it. There's so many. I've never done a bracket challenge before. I'll admit it. I used to do squares for the Super Bowl, but as far as a bracket challenge for the NCAA, no, I've never done one. But we could do that. I don't know who won for what. Some guy who has longer hair than I do won for something. Is it original score? I don't know what the category is. My hair used to not quite be that long, but it was close. It was, come on, roll the category. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what it is, because they're not rolling the category. But some guy with a lot longer hair than even I used to have when I was doing Captain Jack. There we go. Original score. For Black Panther is Ludwig Göransson, with the correct enunciation of their Germanic, or of the if he's from Finland, Sweden, if he's Nordic. Good enunciation there. Line is open, 813-699-0834. If I don't have any callers, we can wrap it at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Up to you. But thanking you for joining me. Thank you for going over to the page. Thank you for subscribing. Tell people on Facebook to come on over. You know, it's one night a week for this show. It'll be a couple different shows where we have, like, say, for Raider Nation, when there are people coming aboard, there will be interviews. I am in the process of getting several Raider players. I was fortunate enough to get Willie Roaf to do an interview. I mean, that's not normal, but I admire Willie Roaf that much of the play that I saw of him, and especially for him being, you know, a Saint, living in New Orleans for all those years, the things that I want to talk to him about. And especially I want to talk to him about being a Kansas City Chief. That gets me very, that's close to something to me. I want to find out what it's like to be a Kansas City Chief. Obviously, he identifies with being a Saint, I'm pretty sure. But it was nice that he would agreed to do the interview. So I appreciate that immensely. But again, it looks like we're out. Will Shallow win original song? This is what I'd like to see. We'll see about that in a minute. Definitely ain't going to be Cowboy trades and Spurs for wings. I doubt that seriously. Hang on a second. Let me turn up the volume for this. Where's my remote? Shallow One. Original song. Lady Gaga. To be expected. And good song. So we'll go from there. All right. We're going to cut it at an hour and a half. And knew Shallow was going to win. That was the one thing I knew about it. If you want to run a bracket, this is where you run a bracket. But I want to see here real quick. Tommy, you get a hold of James Jett. I would love that, and I would love to have him on. If you can get a hold of James Jett and have him contact me, I would love to have him do the show. It would be my honor. So anybody that you can, and I say this to anybody out there, if you know professional players that would like to spend some time with us, it's always an honor, and to listen to what they had as far as their growing up, the differences in the NFL, the differences in how they had what they had to do in order to play. You know, it's a learning experience, and any sort of insight that you can gain is immense. To listen to them in that area. I didn't hear what Gaga said, so I'm kind of glad I missed it. I'm sure there was a bunch of different things that went on, so I'm sure something. Don't care, but congratulations for her. You know, she's a great voice. I'll give her that. My neighbor knows him. All right, Tommy, you work on that. Thanks again there, sir. So again, we are going to cut this at an hour and a half. Again, I thank you for tuning in to the You Don't Know Jack About Sports. It's a great concept show. Get the word out. It's good for everybody. What's your thoughts about Robert Kraft? Aha. You know, Mike, I will end my show with my conjecture here. And I'm glad that you asked that. Robert Kraft. If you are a person that doesn't like the Patriots as the majority, and I will say the majority of people outside of New England can't stand the Pats. It's the truth. I would say that you have to remember this. There's a couple things going on here. First off, I can bet you $1 to a donut that Robert Kraft has nothing to do with the trafficking of ladies. And remember, human trafficking is a very important issue. It's a shame that, and predominantly for women, but there are men that are caught up in human trafficking. It's slavery. It is modern day slavery, where the majority of women, and I will say this, the majority of women from countries that are impoverished are told that they are going to get a job in the United States, and they come over here through sponsorship, through a group. They come over here and they are put into a situation that is a lose-lose, because they have to resort to things such as prostitution for the most part, manual labor to a smaller extent, but mostly prostitution. It's a serious issue. I don't poo-poo it because, again, it's a shame. You have folks from, again, impoverished countries, mostly in Asia, South America, Africa, coming over here. And again, the majority of women that have to deal with this, it's an outcry of horrendousness, and it needs to stop. But is Robert Kraft involved with human trafficking? No. Robert Kraft is guilty of wanting to get his whip dipped. That's the way it is. He's guilty of being an old dude that wanted to have his happy ending. Now, I chuckle at that. Again, not to chuckle about the issue of human trafficking. That is a major issue which does not need to be laughed about. The issue of human trafficking is different than the issue of Robert Kraft literally getting caught with his pants down. Literally. Now, if Robert Kraft is, and we haven't seen the evidence yet, if Robert Kraft is caught with a lady of, hey, Mike, good to hear. Mike, I'm glad you came in because we're just talking about human trafficking. And I know that you would definitely be able to comment on this. So welcome to Michael Arline. And again, to bring Michael up to date, we were talking about how impoverished upper 90% of women in impoverished countries get caught up to come to the United States to be caught up in and become basically a prostitute because there's nothing else for them to do, because that they are under that's slavery, modern slavery. And they have no rights, and it's a shame. So human trafficking is one issue that we're doing, but he has the money to pay for services, not going to play. Okay, he does. He has the money to pay for the services, Mike, but he's Robert Kraft. So the word would be it would be easier for him to get busted by somebody coming over to his place and giving him services at his place, because it's like, where are you going? I'm going to Robert Kraft's house. I'm going to give him a happy ending. I'm going to give him oral satisfaction. I'm not gonna say the words. So was he stupid doing it? Yes. And I'm sure he thought that nobody is going to know who the hell I am in Jupiter, Florida. In Jupiter, Florida, where he has a house, He has several, residences, of which Jupiter is one. So he says, hey, I'm going to go out and go have some fun. Again, I'm not going to go for the easy laugh here. He goes out to get some satisfaction there. Again, not involved with the human trafficking, most likely. He's only guilty of wanting to have his happy ending. And was it stupid for him to go out? Yeah. But I think that he thinks it's probably easier for him not to get caught going to someplace than it would be having some ladies of ill repute coming over to his place. And oh, by the way, I don't know whether his girlfriend would be at these places. He has the girlfriend he has the kid with. I don't know where his girlfriend's at. So, you can't really have a girl come over to your house if your girlfriend's around. Guys know what I'm talking about. It was stupid. And for those that were saying that all he has to do is fly to Vegas, it's not legal in Vegas, no matter what you heard. Vegas prostitution is not legal. It is legal in the state of Nevada, but it's not legal in Las Vegas. And B, why would you want to fly to Vegas every time you wanted to get some fillet satisfaction? You don't. Could he do it? Sure. Is it cost effective? No. But getting back to point, the karma gods were looking out for everybody that hates the Patriots. And all of the memes are out there. And here's what the bottom line is probably going to be. Robert Kraft was looking to turn over. No, Tommy, that's not true. His wife did not just die. His wife died in 2011. It's been almost 8 years since his wife has been dead. His wife died in 2011. He's had a girlfriend since then. And by the way, he used to have an Asian girlfriend, although I can't find any record of it. But I remember watching games where his girlfriend was Chinese or Philippine. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I know it because I would always see a Asian girl with him in the box. No, that's not a pun. In the owner's box. He used to hang out with an Asian gal. Now, but I can't find any record of it on Google. But I remember that he used to hang out with a very good-looking Asian gal after his wife died. Now, look, if you see the Robert Kraft girlfriend, you look it up on Google, it's a blonde, a nice-looking actress type thing. And his current girlfriend says the child is not his. Well, good for her. That's fun, Mike. I didn't know that. But if it's not his and he's been paying for it, then a sucker's born every minute. P.T. Barnum said it. But the bottom line is that they're probably not going to find him guilty of anything other than wanting to have a good time. In the state of Florida, if you don't have a criminal record, you can probably get away with not having to go to jail. If you have a good record, he won't see any jail time. He'll have lawyers to get him off the hook. And it'll be a PR fiasco. But again, getting back to point, Robert Kraft has been looking basically to have an out and turn over the Patriots to his son. It's been several years, and it's going to happen. So look for that to be expedited now with Robert Kraft being in the way to, and again, it's nothing great that will be known for this. Just the fact is he got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And like Tommy was saying, he's not even the number one person on that list. Somebody was conjecturing it's probably Jimmy Buffett. I can see Jimmy Buffett getting caught up in that. This is not me saying it's Jimmy Buffett. I said that there is some conjecture from other people that Jimmy Buffett might be the number one name on that list. I don't know. Oh, great. Barbara Streisand. I don't. This is. Wait 1 second here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do not know what this is.
When I first saw a black Klansman,
Okay, good. I don't want to. I don't. It's
I was very
Barbara Bobwa. Punishment from the NFL, Mike, is probably not going to be that much. They're going to probably tell him, basically, go take your rings and go away. He's probably going to be fined. Remember, the owner of the Colts got what, $500,000, I think, and a 6-game suspension. Yeah, Mike, he wouldn't get a normal job getting jail time for solicitation of prostitution if he doesn't have a record in Florida and he has a good lawyer. Yeah, he can stay out of jail. Spike Lee's happy. I don't know what the hell Barbara just said. But the point is that probably very little judgment from the NFL if it's just solicitation for prostitution. Thank you for the comment there, Mike. But that's what I think. It's all going to get swept. It's all going to get swept. Nothing major is going to happen. But having said that, and I hope I've answered everybody's question that wanted to know an answer. We'll unless there is another caller, and I'll give like a minute. Diversion program in Florida. Thank you there, Mike. That's why I have the gentleman on. He knows what's going on. Michael is very, very knowledgeable to such things. So I will defer to those that know a lot more than me. Max is $500,000, 6-game suspension. You know what? It depends on a lot of what comes out. No pun intended, I take it, Mike. I don't think they're going to get him for anything like that. That was for like I said, the owner of the Colts got that $500,000 and a 6-game suspension. I think at most, that's what's going to happen. But it's not going to be much. So I think he's going to get away with it. Just the way it is. But again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to the page. Thank you for being here. Get the word out that we have sports talk every Sunday. And you don't know jack about sports. We have Raider Greats come on board with the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast. So thanks again. I'll look once the word is out on what the punishment is for Robert Kraft. You damn sure know that this guy is going to let you know, and we're going to giggle our asses off. Giggle our goony goo asses off, shall we say. Just like Eddie Murphy would have said it best. It's going to be fun. So again, take care of yourself. We'll see you next time here on You Don't Know Jack About Sports. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for letting the word out that we're going to have this show go on. How much the media blows it up. Yeah, the medium's going to blow it up. But remember, I think the media's going to blow it up more because Kraft is a friend of president. Kraft is a friend of the president, and Brady is a friend of the president, which automatically means that the media is going to stir it up for political reasons. I'm sure you guys and gals will agree with me there. But I don't care. I don't care because pays no never mind. Just make sure that the Patriots don't win the friggin' Super Bowl anymore. It'd be about the best thing I can have for fun. But again, y'all take care. See you next Sunday. Look out for that show on Wednesday night. Black Shield and Galleon Wheel podcast with Willie Rofe. Join me, 9 p.m. So we'll see y'all next time. We'll see you next Sunday, too, on this show. You Don't Know Jack About Sports. Again, thanks for coming aboard. We'll see y'all. Take care, and I'm going to see who wins this category. Actor in the leading role. Hopefully, Rami Malek. for Bohemian Rhapsody. We'll see that. And take care. See you next week.